So what does it mean to follow Christ? I'd like to spend a couple of sessions with you just on the whole idea of following Christ. I think the first point for me is to look at something like Psalm 23. It's one of those Bible pieces that we've learned from we were little kids, Psalm 23. And it starts off with this sentence, "The Lord is my shepherd." But I think the implication of saying that He's your shepherd is this: I am the sheep. Have you ever thought of it that way? When He says He's the shepherd, we need to see ourselves as the sheep. A couple of interesting things that I've seen about sheep. I grew up on a farm, so I could actually study sheep. I know a little bit about them. The first thing that you see about sheep is they're not very smart. So I don't want to insult you and say, hey, you're not very smart. But when it comes to what God knows and what I know, it's a whole different ballgame. That's why He invites us actually in Isaiah and says, my thoughts are not your thoughts and my ways are not your ways. We look at that scripture and we think, wow, it's kind of demoralizing. Actually, God is inviting us and saying, you know what, my thoughts are not your thoughts. But because I'm the shepherd and you're the sheep, you can follow me and you can actually start thinking where I'm thinking. The second thing I've seen about sheep is they cannot defend themselves. Whenever there's a predator coming, that predator actually has a ball of a time and he does some damage among the sheep. That is why we need a shepherd. You need to know that God will and can fight for you. The third thing that I've seen about sheep is they have never been made to carry a heavy load. So I wonder many times, why do we walk around with the load of the world on our own shoulders? So let's go back to Psalm 23 and what it means to follow Christ. When He says, I am the good shepherd, I am the shepherd, follow me. He's actually inviting us to a life of leaning not on our own understanding, but trusting in His wisdom. He's inviting us to a life where He fights for you and where you can literally give the battles over to Him. And the third thing is He's inviting you to a life of really living free and lightly, because He's already taken the weight of the world on His shoulders so that you don't have to. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. And you know what? That makes it a bit easier for me to follow Christ as the Good Shepherd.